And we are live, and we're back with the Premier League action for match week 31. I know there's World Cup fever, there's an international football fever still going on. I myself still hot from that, but look, we got to get back to proceedings, man. You know, it's abrupt, but you got to keep the ball rolling when it comes to the Premier League. It's back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, for me, I live in New York. The Premier League is back. And the title race between Manchester City and Liverpool continues. The top four race for the European spots, and the relegation battle is as hot as it's ever been. So, let's start today's stream off by firstly doing a recap of what happened on match week 29 and 31st. My voice is a bit raspy right about now, and it's from yelling at this kid Liam, man, you know what I mean? Not from talking too much today when it comes to the World Cup draw, but it's Liam, and sometimes I'm not mindful of what's going on, and I yell. And I shouldn't yell because I need my voice, you know what I mean? So, before the international break, we had Leicester beating Brentford 2-1, Spurs defeating West Ham 3-1, Arsenal beating Villa 1-0, and on that Friday, we had a thriller between Leeds and Wolves, where Leeds won 3-2. Everton beat Newcastle 1-0, and we had Spurs beating Brighton 2-0, Liverpool beating Arsenal 2-0, Man City and Crystal Palace playing to a 0-0 draw. Chelsea beating Newcastle 1-0. And we're going to just go further down where Wolves got a 1-0 win over Everton. Leeds beat Norwich 2-1. Watford beat Southampton 1-0. West Ham beat Aston Villa 2-0. Arsenal beat Leicester 2-0. Brighton lost to Liverpool 2-0. Burnley lost to Brentford 2-0. Man United defeated Spurs. I think that's pretty much it in terms of the latest fixtures that, you know, we just got to recap, and we're going to continue things when it comes to the Premier League. But we got to recap. We just got to look at what happened before the break. There was also the FA Cup, guys. We're not going to get into that. We're just going to talk about the league right now. And this is what the table looks like. But big up to everybody in the stream right about now. Make sure you like up the video if you're watching the replay right now. Thank you very much. Do the same. And we're going to get things cracking today. We got 10 matches to talk about. And we're going to get this done. We're going to get this in. I don't plan to be super long tonight, but I have to preview the weekend games and give you my predictions. So, going into match week 31, Man City on top of the table, 1 point ahead of Liverpool. So, hence the reason why this is called the Man City title race continues into match week 31, okay? Nothing else matters right about now. Nothing else matters. But big up to everybody in the stream, man. We are not going to talk about the World Cup, guys. Please do not distract me when it comes to the World Cup. We have to talk Premier League football right now. I spent 2.5 hours talking about the World Cup today. Please, let's not talk about the World Cup right now. Let's focus on the Premier League. So, let's go back to the table here. Liverpool is second, 69 points. And as someone mentioned, Liverpool should go on top of the table early in the morning as they're favorites to beat Watford, right? And then if Man City manage to get past Burnley, they should get up back on top of the table. So Chelsea at third, 10 points behind Liverpool with a game in hand, 59 points. Arsenal are fourth with 54 points with a game in hand to Spurs, who are fifth with 51 points. Man United is sixth with 50 points. I'm going to need to drink some water, man. My voice is not 100%, but we got to get this thing done. West Ham 7, 48 points. Wolves 8, 46 points. Aston Villa 9th with 36 points. That's a big gap. So Wolves, West Ham United, Spurs, and Arsenal. These teams will be fighting for the Champions League, European spots, which include the Europa League and the Conference League. Aston Villa, I don't think stand a chance of catching those teams ahead of them there. So Leicester at 10th. Leicester have done well to crack the top 10, so let's give it to them. And in the bottom half of the table, we got Southampton on 35 points, Crystal Palace on 34 points in 12th, Brighton losing their way in 13th with 33 points. At one time, we thought that they would have actually competed for those European spots, but they can't stop losing. Newcastle climbing back up the table in 14th with 31 points, but the job is not done. Brentford recovering in 15th with 30 points, and Leeds recovering as well in 16th with 25 points. They do have a 4-point gap, but Everton do have 3 games in hand with 25 points. Ahead of the relegation places, Watford, 29 games played, 22 points. Burnley in 19th with 21 points, and Norwich 17 points at the bottom of the table. None of these teams are relegated yet. This is the final stretch. Teams have 9 games and 8 games left, and anything could happen. It's a lot of points to play for. That's 27, 24 points to play for, and anything could happen in that period. But it's going to be difficult for the teams that are struggling to get out of the relegation zone and everything. The pressure is on. So that's what the table looks like. We got to check on one thing else before we start. We do have some news in terms of some awards where Cristiano Ronaldo wins March Budweiser Goal of the Month. I think that was the goal he scored against Brighton. And Arteta, Manager of the Month. Congratulations to Arteta. He did a good job. And for March, he won Manager of the Month. Harry Kane, Player of the Month. Congratulations to all the winners of those awards. And we won't linger too much on this at all. We're not going to linger too much. One thing we got to touch on, some quick stats. Not to go deep, but Mohamed Salah with 20 goals. Son with 13. Diego Jota with 13. Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Sadio Mane with 12. Ivan Toney with 11. Maris, Sterling, and Jamie Vardy with 10. The assist kings are Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool's Andy Robertson, and Mohamed Salah. We won't touch on the others. We're not going to get too deep into that. But this is what the other awards are looking like right now. Alisson leading the Golden Glove race with 16 clean sheets. Edison has 16, but Alisson played least games, I think. So let's see who's going to win that award at the end of the season. So big shout outs to everybody in here again, man. Thank you very much for coming in. Nippon, how are you doing? What we got here, man? Imur, we got Kamal Aki in here. Big up to you guys, man. Thanks for coming through. Theodore Grandet, the Lego Dude, Pacharo, Botak Ching, everybody who joined the live stream. I know it's late. I know there's not much interest around the Premier League on a Friday right now because it's a bit late and it's the World Cup day where the World Cup draw was done. And if I talk World Cup again, this live stream will be filled with people. But we have to, keep this thing going and touch on the Premier League. Okay, so we're gonna keep things going and we won't waste no time. We're not gonna do that. 8 minutes in already. That's the warm up, and I'm gonna get straight into these matches. So let's actually click the fixtures, and we're gonna get into these matches. So let's start with the one between Brighton and Norwich City. Okay, Brighton versus Norwich. Okay, so let me just pull that up on my end, and we're gonna talk Brighton versus Norwich. Spent a lot of work writing up the notes and everything for this live stream, guys. So gotta get it done, man. Put in a lot of work, and once again, I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody for 50K subscribers, guys. Do appreciate that. 50K, another big milestone, and we're gonna look to reach those milestones going forward. So Brighton versus Norwich, two teams that are struggling in the Premier League right now. If we really took a look at form, Brighton, they haven't won any of their last five. Actually, they have lost all their last five, along with Norwich, who lost all their last five as well. Excuse me. And this losing streak for Brighton probably stretch across 6 games. So, you know what I mean? Not a very good run that they're on. And one of these teams have to take this opportunity to actually stop the bleeding and pick up a win. A draw won't be a good result, but it's going to be a decent result, but it won't be a great result at all. So, yeah, man. We have a lot of information here for both teams. I think I could use this page a lot more often to give you guys more information on both teams in terms of the top goal scorers and the assist getters and things like that. It's right there. And their form and their season so far and all of that good stuff. But in terms of their last games, man, Brighton lost to Tottenham 2-0, and Leeds defeated Norwich 2-1. And in terms of their last meeting, they met in October of 2021. That game ended in a 0-0 draw. I'm hoping we don't see another boring 0-0 draw, but, you know, it'll be imperative for one of these teams to pick up a victory. So, in their last 10 meetings, however, Norwich do have a good record with 5 wins. Brighton have 3 wins and 2 games have ended in a draw. And a lot of these meetings were in the Championship, where you see their all-time Premier League head-to-head reads 3 matches, 2 wins for Brighton and 1 draw. So Brighton are yet to lose to Norwich in the Premier League, in their Premier League era, where Brighton are one of the newest Premier League teams as well. So players to watch, in my opinion, for both teams. For Brighton, I'm choosing their entire attack, where they have been firing a lot of blanks lately. You know what I'm saying? If we go down to their recent results here, look, Brighton have only scored 1 goal. 1 goal in their last 5 matches. Once. That is not good enough at all. That ain't good enough. Home and away, not good enough. And 4 out of their last 5 games have been at home. So this is not good enough. They will be at home. They do not perform well. You know, they haven't been performing well at home in the last couple months, and they need to turn that form around. For Norwich, I'm going to choose the whole team, simply because this team needs to rally and they need to pick up wins. That's the only thing that is going to save them. They're on the cusp of being relegated. So both teams got a lot of introspection to do, and this would be the right time to do it after the international break. So in terms of the player availability here for both teams, let's just switch the squads there. For Brighton, Adam Webster, the centre-back, would be out. Again, he's close to a return. Adam Lallana would be out. Moses Caicedo will be out. Tariq Lamptey available again after illness. And Alexis McAllister, the Argentina international, will be a doubt. For Norwich, Max Aarons and Mr. Williams, what's his name? Brandon Williams. These guys will be doubtful. Christoph Zimmerman, Sam Byram available again after injury. Josh Sargent is a doubt, while Adam Ida, Andrew Omobamidele, and Ozan Kabak remains out with injury. Well, Kabak picked up that injury on international break, seemingly. So, just to touch on some insights for you guys. Did you know Neil Maupay has scored 26 goals in the Premier League for Brighton Hove and Albion? One more strike will make him the Seagulls' highest goal scorer in the competition. He is currently level with Glenn Murray. The Frenchman's last 2 league goals have come against promoted sides versus Brentford in December and Watford in February. He's due a goal, definitely due a goal. Brighton have kept a clean sheet in all three of their Premier League meetings, with Norwich City winning 2 and drawing 1. The Seagulls have never won a Premier League match in April after 14 attempts, losing 7 and drawing 7. That is nuts. Only Hull City, 16 in May, have played more matches in a specific month without ever winning in the competition's history. Both Brighton and Norwich have lost their last 6 Premier League contests. This will be the third ever Premier League meeting between two sides on 6+ match losing streak after Sunderland won, West Bromwich Albion 2 in April 2003, and Sheffield United 1. Fulham won last season. So, look. Was it last season? Yeah, that was definitely last season. So, Simon Hooper will be in charge of this game. Guys, it gets to the point where I let you know my prediction. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet. I'm going to keep it moving. And, look, I actually see Brighton rallying after the international break and picking up a win here against a struggling Norwich City. But I must say that this game could go any which way, but it's very unpredictable seeing that we're coming off of an international break and we don't know what to expect from these struggling sides. But I do expect Brighton to get the better of Norwich, seeing that they do have the better team, in my opinion. They have more quality, and Norwich City just can't seem to put a string of good performances together. So Dean Smith and his boys, I think, are going to continue to struggle, and Graham Potter would pick up a well-needed win. He does not have a great record against Dean Smith, playing 8 matches, only winning twice, drawing twice, and losing 4 times. So you need to actually improve on that. Guys, I'm going for a Brighton win. Let me know your prediction in the chat, and we are going to keep it moving. Okay, not the biggest game. That'll be tomorrow in my time, 10 a.m., and I won't be watching this game because Burnley versus City will be playing, and there's 3 other games on at the same time. 5 games at the same time, but I will be tuning into Burnley versus Man City and maybe another one, maybe Chelsea, Brentford. So in terms of these teams for Brighton, their next game will be against Arsenal. Then they do have Tottenham and Manchester City. Some tough games coming up. So they better win this game against Norwich City, because where they're at now in the table, they're 13th. 3 points would take them up to 36 points. And I think that would be almost guaranteed survival for yet another Premier League season for Brighton. As for Norwich, bottom of the table, I think they'll lose the game. Their next match will be against Burnley. So they have games that they could pick up points in. And for Norwich, they have to win. They have to start winning. With only 9 games left, that's 27 points available. They need 23 to survive. I don't think they're surviving. I really don't think they're surviving, man. You know, I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. You know, so look, apparently Senegal and Netherlands are playing the opening game at Qatar. Okay, we're not talking World Cup right about now, but let's see. We're going to get into that another time, all right? But big up to everybody in the stream right about now, man. Christoph Jones is saying Brighton has been on and off this season. A lot of jaws. The football has been brilliant, but Norwich is a lost cause. So 2-1 to Brighton for me. Thank you very much for that prediction. Brighton might be relegated if they keep up their abysmal form. Brighton only needs 6 points to survive, so I think they'll be okay. I really think they'll be okay. So, yeah, man, it doesn't matter how good the football is if they can't get the ball in the back of the net. You're absolutely right with that one. So, big up to Brawl Barry in the house, man. Appreciate you coming through. I don't know why I lost my voice for some reason. You know, I think I need a Ricola or something. Mel! Come here. Go up in my bag, in the pocket, at the side, not the one with the mesh. You know, the big one, and bring me 2 Ricolas. Search until you find them, because I need them, because my voice ain't holding up well at all. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I got the kids. I got 2 kids with me right now. My 10-year-old daughter, Mel, and my boy, Liam, of course. He's sleeping right here, or else this won't be possible. This will be possible. So, guys, we're going to keep it moving. I'm going for Brighton to get closer to survival with a win. So, let's move on to the next game. And that game will be Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Let's talk about that one. Let's get that one in very, very early. So, Palace versus Arsenal. I think that was the last game that I wrote up. Yep. Crystal Palace versus the Gunners in a London derby here. So let's touch on this one. So the last game for Arsenal, a 1-0 win over Aston Villa. For Crystal Palace, a 0-0 draw against Manchester City and a smashing 4-0 victory over Everton in the FA Cup. So pretty good stuff by Crystal Palace. All right, so brilliant. This is the last two. No, there's a lot more in the bag. Thank you very much. Guys, I need to get this Ricola in my mouth, drink some water. Got the remedy. Because I don't know what's going on with my voice at all. So, well done by Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. You got to give it to them. They look good. And they will be hosting this game. And in their last, well, they have been really good at home this season. That's something that I've noticed. They've looked really good. But against Arsenal, they haven't really done well. Because you see the head-to-head there. 25 matches, 14 wins for Arsenal, 3 for Crystal Palace. They only manage 8. They manage 8 draws in there too, so that's a good start for them. But they would need to conjure up everything to get something from this game against Arsenal. So, in terms of the last meeting between these two teams, guys, it finished in a 2-2 draw back in October. And in the last 10 games, there have been 5 draws between Crystal Palace and Arsenal and 2 wins for Crystal Palace. So they've only lost Arsenal 3 times across their last 10 games, which is absolutely brilliant. Roy Hodgson have done a great job with the team and passed the baton over to Patrick Vieira. It's crazy that Roy Hodgson is still managing a team in the Premier League and he was let go by Crystal Palace, who didn't sack him but just moved on because they wanted a new style of football and everything. So, honorable mention to Roy Hodgson, the veteran. You know what I'm saying? So, look, in terms of players to watch, guys, for Crystal Palace, I'm going to go with the defensive duo of Tyreek Mitchell and Mark Guehi coming fresh off international duty with England. Are these guys going to slot right in? And if they do, they're going to come in with a newfound confidence being newly minted internationals. So give it up to those youngsters for their consistent form in the league and in the cups as well. And give it up to Mark Guehi, who recently captained Crystal Palace. So the future looks bright for Mark Guehi indeed. So keep an eye on those players. They have been very, very good this season. For Arsenal, I'm going for no other than Bukayo Saka, who's a bit of a doubt for this game. May not start, but if he does come off the bench, expect him to have an effect on the game. All right, so in terms of the notes and the players here, let's just switch there to the squads. Just get a couple players on the screen there. Crystal Palace, Zaha, Michael Olise, and James McArthur, along with Nathan Ferguson, are all doubtful, dealing with some issues there. But I do expect these players to feature whether off the bench or from the start. For Arsenal, Aaron Ramsdale and Takehiro Tomiyasu are also doubtful. We could see Bernd Leno continuing in goal and Cedric continuing at right back. Bukayo Saka is fit again after illness, and let's see if he's actually going to start or be on the bench. So, in terms of insights for this, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's definitely keep it moving. Saka and Smith Rowe to equal Premier League goal record at Palace. All right. Did you know Saka 20 and Emil Smith Rowe 21 are Arsenal's leading Premier League goal scorers this season with 9 goals each? only twice has a club had two players reach double figures while age 21 or younger in a single Premier League season. Leeds United in 1999, 2000, Harry Kewell and Michael Bridges. And Manchester United in 06-07, Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo. Legendary players there. So Crystal Palace have failed to win any of their 5 Premier League home matches in 2022 so far, drawing 2 and losing 3. They have had a stellar home record though. I did look at the home record as well in the cups, and it's not that bad. While in the FA Cup, the Eagles have won all but 3 at Selhurst Park by an aggregate of 8-1. You see? I said it. Didn't even see that. Only Watford 8 and Brighton 6 on a longer winless home run in the Premier League than Palace. So they do need to actually get a win at home, but the draws and the cup run at home has been definitely impressive. Arsenal have won each of their last 5 Premier League away matches. So away, Arsenal have been doing well, and at home, so-so. The last one more consecutively on the road between March and September of 2013, 8. While they last did so within the same season between January and May of 2002, also 8. Palace have won just one of their last 17 Premier League London derby matches, losing 8 and drawing 8, beating Tottenham 3-0 in September this season. Well, that's crazy, right? 8 and 8, 16. They have one win. One win. Crazy. So, pretty confusing way to put it, though. All right. So, Palace have won just... I didn't even realize that I said that. Palace have won just one. That's crazy the way they write this shit, man. Palace have won just one of their last 17 Premier League London derbies, drawing 8 and losing 8, beating Tottenham 3-0 in September this season. The Eagles have never beaten both Arsenal and Spurs within the same league campaign before. Paul Tierney will be in charge of this game. So, guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, look, I've been impressed with Arsenal on the road this season. But the thing is, Crystal Palace, they have been a very, very gritty team. And Patrick Vieira coming up against his old team here, picked up a draw the last time around. And I think they're going to give Arsenal a very, very good fight here. I'm actually leaning towards a draw. Both teams in pretty good form. Palace drawing against City, smashing Everton in the cup before the international break. And Arsenal themselves, coming off of a win against Aston Villa. They have looked good. They have looked good, especially on the road. And the youngsters have been putting out some good performances. You have guys like Thomas Partey coming off of the high of qualifying for the World Cup along with Granit Xhaka as well. So Arsenal, they have done a great job under Mikel Arteta this season indeed. So Arteta versus Patrick Vieira, round 2. First game ended in a draw. Arteta have never lost against Crystal Palace, so could he continue that run? And Arsenal, they haven't really done well against Crystal Palace over the last 10 matches, so it's a mixed bag of results in my opinion. And I could see these teams cancelling each other out like they did earlier this season with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to put some respect on Crystal Palace, and I'm also going to give Arsenal the credit for playing well this season. Don't think Palace got it in them to beat Arsenal right now, and I say they're going to give them a very, very good game and earn a draw. So 1-1 draw for me. We know Palace, they are going to take the game to Arsenal. They're not going to sit back too much, but what is important for Vieira and Palace here is game management. And I think he might get it right here and pick up a point. Valuable point for Palace in my opinion. Guys, give me your prediction in the chat. Arsenal will ideally want to win this game, continue their great away run to keep the lead ahead of the likes of Tottenham and Man United and West Ham. But I think they're going to suffer a setback in this one. London derby, Palace haven't been doing well, so it's a fair prediction for me. So in terms of their next games coming up, Crystal Palace, they will play Leicester City, and they do have a semi-final in the FA Cup against Chelsea. So good luck to Palace in those upcoming matches. For the Gunners, after the Palace game, they do play Brighton and Southampton. So some very winnable fixtures here for Arteta and his boys. So big up to everybody in the stream right about now, man. Ivan, LFC, how you doing? Christoph Jones, who says, Arsenal has been flying as of recent. To me, most informed team in the league, with most would say they haven't played anyone massive. Palace has been good too. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Well done, man. Good prediction. Big up to Errol Brown in the house. How are you doing, Errol? And he says, Rich Medea, big up everyone in the live. Nice to see you guys coming out, man, in your numbers. Guys, make sure you like the video. Let us get those likes up. I will definitely appreciate it. Every like is important. So let me try not to yell too much. We only got 11 likes. You guys could do better. Let's get the stream up to about 20 likes, guys. Come on, make it happen. Make it happen, man. You could do better than that, okay? Don't let me down. Let's do this. Let's continue. Let's keep it moving. So the next game that we're going to talk about, Tottenham, Newcastle. We spoke about Arsenal. We're going to move on to Tottenham. These rivals are fighting for a Champions League spot this season. So let us keep it going. So Tottenham versus Newcastle United. So this is a big game. This is indeed a big game. This is a huge game. Because Newcastle, they've been on the up, setback in their last two games, and Tottenham a bit inconsistent, and Newcastle would actually relish this visit to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium here. So Tottenham 3, West Ham 1 in their last game. Everton 1, Newcastle 0 in Newcastle's last match. The last time these two teams met was in October of 2021, where Spurs beat Newcastle 3-2 in a thrilling encounter where it took a late 89th minute. Well, it took an 89th-minute own goal by Eric Dyer for Newcastle to get somewhat back in the game. But Ndombele, the man who has left the club already, Harry Kane, and Heung-min Son replied to a Callum Wilson second-minute goal. So, look, Newcastle would be looking to actually avenge this loss that they suffered at the St. James's Park. And let's see if they could manage to pull that off. So, in terms of the managers here, Conte coming up against Eddie Howe. This would be the sixth meeting. Eddie Howe has 1 win against Conte and 4 losses. Not a great record. Against Tottenham, Eddie Howe only got 1 win, 2 draws, and 7 losses. While for Conte against Newcastle, 3 matches played, 2 wins, and 1 loss. So solid record there for Conte against both Howe and Newcastle. All-time Premier League results, 53 matches played, 23 wins for Spurs, 22 for Newcastle, and 8 draws. Pretty even. Newcastle could go level with Spurs and 23 wins if they manage to squeeze out a win here. So very, very, very big game. And in terms of players to watch here, I'm going to go for Heung-min Son of Tottenham. I know Harry Kane is their talismanic player and he gets all the headlines, but if you really look at it, Son is the reason why Tottenham performs so well when they do perform well. Son, Heung-min Son. I don't even think he should be at. Son deserves a better club, in my opinion. No disrespect to the Tottenham fans, but I would actually love to see Heung-min Son at a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see him at another club, but Son looks like a loyal dude. I might actually stay at Spurs until his form dwindles. So keep an eye on Heung-min Son and Harry Kane in this game for their link-up play and everything, but I'm going to go for Son. For Newcastle, their defense. Let's go back to stats and let's scroll down and you look at Newcastle's defense here.
They lost a goal to nil to both Everton and Chelsea. They won against Crystal Palace and Brighton, but they did let in a goal. So they have to be a bit tighter there. They got to be tighter. And they look good. They look good coming into those games against Chelsea and Everton, but somehow lost their way. So they need to get their act together and not let in that goal, because it's by a 1-0 margin that they lost both games. So the defense has to be tight if they are to get something from this game against Tottenham Hotspur. So just keep an eye on Newcastle's defense here. So in terms of player availability, let's keep it moving, man. You know what I mean? We're not doing this thing fast enough. We've been live for 35 minutes. This is the third match. We're gonna keep it moving though, definitely. For Tottenham, Jaffa Tanganga, Ryan Sessegnon, and Oli Skip remains out, and are the only players that remain out of action for Spurs. While for Newcastle, Callum Wilson, Kieran Trippier, Isaac Hayden, and Jamal Lewis are definitely out. They would welcome back Jonjo Shelvey to the setup. So Shelvey is an important figure to this Newcastle team, so he'll look to add some impetus in the midfield. In terms of some insights here for both teams, can Son maintain home scoring form against Newcastle? You see, I didn't even see this. I be on point, man. I be on point with my players to watch. You know what I mean? So Tottenham Hotspur's Son Heung-min has scored 8 goals in his last 8 Premier League matches at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Overall, he's the highest scoring player in home Premier League matches this season with 10. With this, the first campaign he's ever reached double figures for home goals. Well done, man. Quality. Told y'all about Son. Since their return to the top flight in 2017, Newcastle United have won just one of their 9 Premier League meetings with Spurs, drawing 2 and losing 6. Though that victory did come away from home in August of 2019, a 1-0 win. They will look to draw some inspiration from that win, guys. So, yeah, let's see what Newcastle does in this match. Spurs have won 4 of their last 5 Premier League contests, losing 1. Having lost 4 of their 5 before that, winning 1. Spurs have scored at least twice in all 5 of these matches, last doing so in more consecutive fixtures between February and April of 2017-7. And lastly, Newcastle haven't conceded more than 1 goal in any of their last Premier League outings, shipping 8 goals in that time. Only twice have they had a longer stretch run in the competition. 18 matches between November 2003 and 2004, and 12 contests between March and August of 1997. I spoke about the defense and how important it is for them to be very tight. I spoke about this. And looky here. Martin Atkinson would be in charge of this game. So in terms of my prediction, guys, look, Spurs versus Newcastle. Guys, Spurs are on a good run right about now. We look at their recent form here. Let's take a look at Spurs' form. They have won their last 2 games, won 4 of their last 5 matches, with the only loss there coming against Manchester United. So, look, they have bounced back from a few setbacks, but they've been rather inconsistent under Antonio Conte. For Newcastle, they got to bounce back, man. They definitely got to bounce back from those 2 losses. They look good climbing out of the relegation zone and everything. And they're far from getting back in the relegation zone, but they have to continue picking up points. I think Spurs are going to be a bit too much for Newcastle on the day. And with the likes of Kulusevski, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son going forward, Bentancur, Haibier in the middle, these guys are all in very good form. These guys are, with the exception of Kulusevski, coming off of a high of qualifying for the World Cup as well. And I could see Tottenham taking the game to Newcastle, and them not holding up very well. I think Newcastle are missing Kieran Trippier. I think Kieran Trippier came in and really helped Newcastle out big time. And since his injury, they've looked to struggle a bit. You see what I'm saying? They struggled a bit. Dan Burn, have lost his way a bit. Started his Newcastle career very, very well, but in the last couple of games, he's been making a few mistakes. Chris Wood up top, is he going to be a threat for the Tottenham defense? I don't see it happening. I see them getting a goal in the game, however, but Eddie Howe would continue losing 3 in a row, in my opinion. Tottenham to win 3 in a row, 3-1 to Spurs. I just think the likes of Kane, Son, and Co. up top, they're going to be a bit too much for this Newcastle United defense. You know what I mean? So Dubravka, indeed, will be a busy man. Hugo Lloris, I don't think so. So 3-1, I'm going to keep it short, I'm going to keep it sweet, I'm going to keep it moving. But Newcastle will be all right, in my opinion, for the rest of the season. But this game, I think they'll suffer another setback. For the Geordies, they will play Wolves after this, and then they will face Leicester City, Crystal Palace, and Norwich. So there's games coming up where they could actually pick up points in, but I don't think they'll get any in this match against Tottenham. For Spurs, after this game against Newcastle, they do face Aston Villa, Brighton, and Brentford. So they have a nice run of games where they could actually look to really put some pressure on Arsenal for that 4th place spot, and also Manchester United. So I'm going to go for Spurs to win the game 3-1. Let me know your predictions in the chat. Big up to the boy Ankit in the house. How are you doing, man? Thank you very much for tuning in, bro. Look, Christoph Jones coming in with the analysis again. Kante, I would say, has a good plan on how to play with his team. I feel the players need to do better. Newcastle, besides the 2 losses to Chelsea, would still be confident, but Spurs 3. Bro, what's up with you and I predicting the same things, man? And that was 4 minutes ago you made this prediction, and I haven't even looked at the chat. Brilliant. Ankit is going for a 3-2 win for Spurs, and Errol Brown is saying 1-0, 1-1. Okay. Ankit is saying all good. Always, my early morning Premier League update is you, Dom, bro. Thank you very much, man. Ankit, you've been doing your thing. Keep up the great work. Keep it up. All right. So, guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. We're doing very well. And we do have, how many likes we got right now? We do have 16 likes. So, if you haven't yet liked the video, smash the thumbs up button. Let's get those likes up. We're going to continue this thing, man. No relenting. Let us keep it going. Let's keep it going indeed. West Ham versus the Evertonians. Just keep this thing going. Let's keep the ball rolling. The boy David Moyes coming up against his old team, the team he managed for so many years. This one is going to be a special meeting for Brendan Rodgers. This is a special meeting for David Moyes as well. And for Frank Lampard coming up against West Ham. Frank Lampard was a West Ham player before, right? So this is going to be a big one. This is indeed going to be a huge one. So West Ham versus Everton here. West Ham versus Everton. All right, so let's get this thing. My internet is acting up kind of slow, though. It's acting real slow. Real slow. So, yeah, man, Frank Lampard came to the West Ham Academy and everything. So, this is going to indeed be a special match for him. And as I said, for David Moyes as well. So, let me just get to my notes for this game, okay? Last game, Tottenham 3, West Ham 1. And for Everton, they won against Newcastle in their last Premier League game, but really got destroyed in the FA Cup by Crystal Palace. So they would want to put that behind them and actually, be inspired by that scrappy win against Newcastle where they did go down to 10 men. So what happened the last time these two teams met each other, you may ask? Well, West Ham pick up a narrow 1-0 win on the road against Everton. And in the last 10, West Ham do have 4 wins. But Newcastle do have a very good record with 5 wins against West Ham. Why did I say Newcastle? Everton do have a good, I don't know why I said Newcastle, but Everton do have a good record with 5 wins in their last, 4 wins, pardon me. 5 wins, pardon me. 5 wins. West Ham do have 4 wins and 1 game ended in a draw. Sorry for the confusion there, but that is the correct thing. West Ham, I repeat, with 4 wins in their last 10 against Everton. Everton with 5 wins in their last 10 in all competitions and 1 draw. So, guys, we might just get a result here. We will get a result, in my opinion. All-time Premier League meetings between these two teams. 51 matches, 27 wins for Everton, 11 for West Ham, and 13 games have ended in a draw. West Ham flying high, but Everton are in a lot of trouble. This is an important game for Everton. West Ham could afford to lose. West Ham could afford to drop points, and they won't take it, too hard. They won't really worry too much about it, but Everton, it's imperative that they get something from this match indeed. All right? David Moyes against his old team Everton. 12 games, 3 wins, 8 losses, and a draw. Not a very good record. While for Lampard against West Ham, 3 matches, 1 win, and 2 losses. Against Moyes, 1 win and a loss. Moyes against Lampard, the same record. Players to watch, in my opinion, here for both teams. Well, for West Ham, I'm going to go with Mikel Antonio. His goal-scoring form has somewhat deserted him, and I think he needs to step it up. But if you look at the West Ham Everton graphic there, you could see West Ham win, Everton win, West Ham win, draw, Everton win. So it seems like Everton are due a win against West Ham right about now. Both teams coming in with somewhat in different form as well, and guys like Mikel Antonio is responsible for that. They need to step up and he needs to score. He has not been scoring enough goals. I know he's been working hard and he's been contributing in terms of assists and his work rate and all, but he's in the team to score goals and he has to do that, especially with Jared Bowen dealing with some injury problems right about now. So, for Everton, I'm going to go with Richarlison. He had a very good international break. He scored 3 times for Brazil in those World Cup qualifiers there, and he would look to continue this form in the Premier League. But look, Everton they don't have the creative players like Brazil, so that might be a long shot. But these guys need to step up, man. Richarlison needs to step up big time. In terms of the players here, man, and availability, for West Ham, Vladimir Koufal is 75% ready. Jared Bowen is at 50%, and Angelo Ogbonna remains out until further notice. As for Everton, Yerry Mina, Fabian Delph are out through injury, along with Tom Davies and Andrew Townsend, while Allen saw a red card in his last Premier League game. So that's what it's looking like in terms of the player availability here. For insights, Everton eye more away returns at West Ham. Everton have lost just one of their last 13 league matches at West Ham, winning 8 and drawing 4. This is a great stat for Everton going into this one indeed. Going down 3-1 in May of 2018. Indeed, the Toffees have won more Premier League away encounters against the Hammers than they have versus any other side, 12. West Ham have lost 2 of their last 3 Premier League outings, winning 1, as many as they had in their previous 9. However, at home, the Hammers are looking to secure 3 consecutive league wins for the first time in over a year, March 2021. Everton have won fewer away points than any other side in the Premier League this season, 6. Not looking good at all. They are currently without a win in 11 matches on the road, drawing 2 and losing 9. The longest such sequence without a win since a run of 16 between February and December of 2017. Andrei Yarmolenko have scored 2 goals in his last 3 matches for West Ham in all competitions, as many as he had in his previous 38 appearances. 8 of his last 9 outings for the Hammers have been as a substitute, with both of his recent goals coming off the bench. Michael Oliver will officiate this game. And in terms of the prediction here, guys, look, I know West Ham are not in their best form. We go down to the form guide here. Lost to Spurs, lost to Liverpool, draw to Newcastle there, but won against Wolves and Aston Villa. Everton are in horrible form, but all coming off of a win in their last Premier League game. They do have a good record against West Ham coming into the match as well. So that could actually give them some inspiration to perform well. And they would have to dig deep to, conjure up that winning mentality. Or continue that winning mentality. It's going to be a tough one. They need to really rally all their forces here. They have to manage this game well. West Ham, look, as I mentioned, I think they're probably dealing with a bit of fatigue, being in the Europa League still. And just the squad have not been they've been using the same set of players, so maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in, mental and physical fatigue. And we could see players out of form, and Jared Bowen, picking up that injury there. Recently, Declan Rice as well, Kufal, a lot of players going down through injury. But, however, I don't trust this Everton team against a more quality opponent like a West Ham. And I could see them losing this game. I could see West Ham bouncing back against Everton, and I could see them winning the game 3-1. Everton, they just look light at times, man. Sometimes when you look at the 11 that Frank Lampard put out, the 11 just does not look strong enough to really, really compete against better opponents. So I'm going to go for them to get beaten again, just like they did against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. 3-1 to West Ham, and for them to continue putting pressure on the top 4 and keep us, their stronghold on one of those European places going into next season. So 3-1 to David Moyes against his old team. Hard luck to Lampard. Look, the game could go any which way, since we're coming off of an international break. I must mention that. But I do fancy West Ham United in this game. So I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet. I'm going to keep it moving. 7th place. West Ham, 48 points. Would crack the 50-point mark, in my opinion. And their next game will be in the Europa League quarterfinal first leg against Olympique Lyon, following by a London derby against Brentford and the second leg against Lyon. So all the best to West Ham United in those matches. For Everton, does it get easier? Yes. They play Burnley at Turf Moor after this. So it'll be imperative for them, if they do get points against West Ham and Burnley, that could take them over the 30-point mark, because you got Man United coming up, you got Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, so you got some very, very tough fixtures coming up. So for Everton, they have to start picking up those 3 points, man, because it ain't looking good at all. It ain't looking good. So big up to everybody in the chat right now, man. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button. The boy MVP Kev is in the house. LFC a Delight is in the house. Everton losing like, what is that, a dog? Christoph. West Ham is a really good team, doing okay in Europe right now. In the league, they would just want to finish solid. As for Everton, I don't know what's going on. 2-0 to the Hammers, in your opinion. King Huddle, Wet Spam have one eye on Europe, but still have enough to win 2-1. Thank you very much there, guys. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So, yeah. Big up to Ankit for, encouraging you guys to like the video. I appreciate everybody who have turned out to watch the live stream tonight. So, we're going to keep it moving. Southampton versus Leeds United. We're doing well. We only been live for 54 minutes, and we are doing very, very well. We're looking to wrap this thing up within the next 45 minutes or so. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going. Do I need to start putting on a timer for these clashes so I won't be too long on them, too long-winded? Maybe I need to, but the fact that I do have a baby in my hand sleeping and things like that. Are you still a baby, Leon? I don't think so. A little toddler sleeping. I don't think I could multitask that well right now. So I'm not going to time myself. But I'm going to look to keep it short and sweet. So Leeds versus Southampton here. So let's talk. Let's talk Leeds versus Southampton. In their last game, Leeds won 3-2 against Wolves. That was a thriller. And for Southampton, they lost the quarterfinal of the FA Cup to City 4-1, and a Premier League game against Watford 2-1. In terms of their last game against Leeds United, they won the game 1-0. And they have 6 wins against Leeds in their last 10, dating back to 2006, where a fair share of those matches were in the Championship. But since Leeds returned to the Premier League, they won both games against Southampton last season. So they'll be looking to get back to their winning ways against the Saints. This will be the first meeting between American manager Jesse Marsch and the Austrian Ralph Hasenhüttl. But interestingly enough, both managers have came through the Red Bull system. So it's the Red Bull manager derby here. And for Hasenhüttl against Leeds, 3 matches, 2 losses, and a win. So very interesting stuff there, man. Look, in terms of players to watch for Leeds, I'm going to go with Rafinha. Rafinha, you know, he's been in the news as of late with being linked with a move to Bayern Munich. So for Rafinha, you know, since you're going to leave at the end of the season, he certainly will leave, guys. Whether Leeds stay up or they get relegated, I think Rafinha will leave, seeing that manager Bielsa have left the club and everything. And, you know, he's a great player. So, you know, maybe not great. He's a very good player. And he'll look to move on to bigger things where he's playing in the Champions League and not scrapping in the relegation, you know, area. So is Rafinha going to give his all for the remainder of the season for Leeds and help them? Just keep an eye on Rafinha amongst a few other players. So for Southampton, a strange pick, but I'm going to go for Kyle Walker-Peters, who is a New England international. So he's going to come off that international break and he's going to look to continue his good form for Southampton. And that's another right back to give Trent Alexander-Arnold some competition. For the Liverpool fans who like to argue about Trent, another right back to give him competition, another right back who's more defensively sound. And yeah, but I'm not going to get into that right about now. I'm not going to get into the Trent Alexander-Arnold conversation right now at all. But, you know, you guys could see the form for both teams in terms of their season so far and everything right there on the screen. And we're not going to get too deep into all of that. But still, Rafinha is at the top of the totem pole there in terms of the goal scorers and everything. Che Adams, Armando Broja, you know, James Ward-Prowse and Nathan Redmond. You know, so Southampton's dominating the stats there. But you could see Rafinha on top there. Rafael Belloli on top there, man. So, look, in terms of players and availability, let's move on. For Leeds, Tyler Roberts is out for the rest of the season. Patrick Bamford is pretty much out for the foreseeable future. Jamie Shackleton, Leo Hielde is out as well. And Junior Firpo is doubtful. But what's a positive for Leeds is that Liam Cooper and Calvin Phillips are fit again. So that's a positive. Those players are key players to Leeds, and they will definitely help Jesse Marsch in easing his headache going into this match against Southampton. For Southampton, Lianco, the Brazilian centre-back, remains out, and Alex McCarthy, their goalkeeper, remains out, while Fraser Foster, who did get called up to the England national team there, would remain in goal. So, in terms of did you know, let's touch on that really quick. The insights. Southampton seek historic double over Leeds. Southampton are looking to complete a league double over Leeds for the first time in the Premier League. Amanda Brozier scored Southampton's winner against Leeds in the reverse fixture earlier this season. The last Southampton player to score home and away against Leeds in the same league season was Paul Rideout in 1990-91. What a surname, right? What a last name. Yo, Rideout, man. Rideout. I don't even know if that's how it's pronounced, but Rideout, man. Rideout. Leeds have lost only one of the 13 Premier League home matches against Southampton, winning 7 and drawing 5. That defeat being all the way back in 1998 thanks to a David Hurst goal. So, Leeds forward Rodrigo scored in each of his last 2 Premier League appearances. He has not scored in more consecutive league matches since a run of 5 with Valencia in 2018. Anthony Taylor will be in charge of this game. And guys, in terms of my prediction for this one, look, we get to the form for both teams. Southampton are not in good form right about now, losing 3 of their last 3, while under new manager Jesse Marsch, Leeds have pulled back a nice 6 points there with 2-2. I see a draw in this game. I know both teams have not really, drawn a lot of games. If you take a look at their last few games that they have played against each other, results, a draw in 2003. But I think, Southampton needs a good result, and Hassan Hutel and his boys are going to fight to the end to get something good from this game. Leeds looking a bit vulnerable right about now, under pressure to pick up points. I could see a high scoring draw in this game. 2-2. Leeds might just win this game, but it's going to be a hard one to get the better of the Southampton team, who does need points as well. So I'm going to go for them to scrap it out to a 2-2 draw. And, both teams to walk away with a point each. But for Leeds, I think they would be a harder team to beat, as they would have Liam Cooper, Ayling, they'll have a boy, Calvin Phillips, back in the midfield, gluing things back together. And I think they'll be a harder team to break down with Meslier in goal. I think Meslier was suffering from some illness, I think, but he should be fit enough to play this game. So I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw in this one for Southampton versus Leeds United. And I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to keep it moving. In terms of the next games, man, Southampton, who are 11th with 35 points, will play Chelsea in their next match, and then they face Arsenal, Burnley, and Brighton. As for Leeds United, they will be coming up against Watford. Then they do have Crystal Palace, Man City, and Arsenal. So it's imperative for them that they get points against the likes of Palace, Watford, and against Southampton, because it's going to be some very, very tough games coming up, man. City, Arsenal, that's tough. But look, they do have Brighton and Brentford for their last matches of the season, along with a game against Chelsea. So I think Leeds should be okay, though. I think they should be okay. And sacking Bielsa might just be the right move, bringing in Jesse Marsch. So 2-2 in my opinion. Let me know your predictions, guys, in the chat. Let's see how many we get right. You know what I'm saying? Big up to Kamal Akwi. Yeah, man, the Trent Alexander agenda. I have to talk about it because he's a right back, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So Leeds has the momentum right now with Jesse Marsch. Edgy, 1-0 for Leeds.
Ivan, you is saying a 1-1, a 1-1 draw. So, bro, I'm still in shock for last night draw. What are you talking about? The World Cup draw? Okay. Mario Stewart, City poor. City been poor lately. Yeah, we're not playing at our best, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Ivan, you poor Bamford. Where is he all season? Injured, man. Injured. So big up to everybody. Shane Mousse, Phil Jones, King Huddle, Ivan Yu, the boy, Ankit, Omari Stewart, everybody in the house, man. Thank you very much for coming through and, to make this one, a good one. Thanks for the participation as well. It's a slow night, but we're doing well still, man. We're doing well. We have to do this. We can't say, okay, you know what? It's an international break, and we're gonna chill tonight. We're not gonna do anything tonight. No, it doesn't work like that. Consistency is the key, and that's the only reason why I got to 50,000 subs. So thanks again for that. Big appreciation to every one of you guys. We need 2 more thumbs up to get to 30. So if you haven't yet liked the video, please make sure you do so. Let us keep it moving. Let's keep the ball rolling, man. So let's go into this match again with Wolves versus Aston Villa. Let's do this, man. Let's talk Wolves versus Aston Villa. I gotta get in the games Man City, Burnley, Liverpool, Watford pretty soon before we do run out of time, before my wife hits me up and say, hey, I'm done. Okay, so let's take the next 5 minutes or so to touch on Wolves versus Aston Villa. We won't linger too much on this one, but we still have to talk Wolves, Aston Villa. So for Wolves, they lost their last game 2-3 against Leeds. That was a thriller, controversial game to say the least. And Aston Villa also coming off of a loss against Arsenal, 1-0. What happened the last time these two teams met? It was a thriller where Wolves won it 3-2. So in that game, Villa scored the 2 goals first, 48, 68 minute. And within 15 minutes, Wolves came back to win the game 3-2. So Dean Smith was a manager then. Now Steven Gerrard is in charge. Bruno Lage and his boys have been doing very, very well this season. And they will look to continue building on that, man. So, look, in their last 10 games, Wolves have only lost 3 times to Aston Villa. And there's games in the championship as well. There's only been 2 draws, while Wolves will have 5 wins against Villa. So solid record. Bruno Lage against Steven Gerrard, and this will be the first meeting. Gerrard has never managed against Wolves, and the one game, Bruno Lage against Aston Villa, resulted in a victory. So he would actually go into this very, 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 very confident. If you scroll down here, you could see the recent meetings. 3-2 for Wolves, 0-0, 1-0 to Villa, 1-0 to Wolves, 2-1 to Wolves. And the form guide for both teams here is pretty similar, where Wolves lost their last game and have 3 losses in 5, and Villa's coming off of a 2-game losing streak as well. So in terms of players to watch for this game, for Wolves, I'm going to go for... it's pretty hard to really pick somebody here. So I'm going to go for the attack. I'm going to actually go for the attack because I don't think they have been scoring enough goals. Even though, you see the win there, a 4-0 against Watford. But they haven't scored enough. Look at the losses there, you know what I'm saying? And before that, they haven't really scored enough. They went on a run where they were not conceding a lot, but they weren't scoring a lot either. So in the last 5, they probably scored more goals than they had in their probably their last 10. So with the absence of Raul Jimenez, who's suspended for this game, I'll get to that. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be Fabio Silva? Who's going to step up and score the goals? Hwang Hee-chan, Daniel Podence. Who's going to score the goals here for Wolves in this game? For Aston Villa, I'm going to go with the pair of Danny Ings and Philip Coutinho. I think Ings especially the fact that he hasn't really lived up to expectations in terms of his form in front of goal in the final third. And for Philippe Coutinho, coming off of the international break with Brazil, he's looking like he's going to make the World Cup squad and everything. He has to continue his good form for Aston Villa. When he plays well, Villa does well. When he disappears, Villa, disappears as well. So let's look for Coutinho and Danny Ings in this game. In terms of the player availability here, Ruben Neves is out for Wolves. Raul Jimenez suspended. Nelson Semedo is a doubt. Keanu Hoover out. And Pedro Neto should be available once again. For Aston Villa, the squad is pretty fit. Marvelous Nakamba is almost ready to feature again. He's at 25% fitness. And apart from him, the rest of the squad is looking very good. So Aston Villa, they don't have any excuses for not going into this game and really putting up a good fight. So, look, let's get to the insights. Can Villa end a 10-year wait when they visit Wolves? Ooh, just might happen. Wolves could become the 5th club to win both their Premier League meetings with Aston Villa this season after Arsenal, Chelsea, Watford, and West Ham United. Coming into this weekend's matches, only Norwich and Watford, both 5, have had more teams do the double over them than Villa this term. This is not good, Villa. Too many doubles, man. Way too many doubles. Wolves have won 3 of their last 5 Premier League encounters with Aston Villa, drawing 1 and losing 1, as many as they had in their previous 26 top-flight meetings with the Villains, winning 3, drawing 9, and losing 14. Aston Villa won this fixture goal to their last season. They lost the last 1 consecutive away matches against Wolverhampton Wanderers in January of 2012. 20-year-old Jacob Ramsey has scored 6 Premier League goals for Villa this season. Only 2 men have scored more in a single campaign for the Villains while under the age of 21. Those players being Luke Moore in 05-06 and Gabby Agbonlahor in 06-07. 9. Darren England will be in charge of this game, and it brings you to my prediction here. Let's go to the recent meetings and let's see what I'm gonna come up with here. So look, my prediction for this game, guys, I'm gonna actually go for a Villa win. I'm gonna go for Villa to bounce back, and I'm gonna go with that result, a 2-1 result for Villa on the road. Simply because I think Wolves would miss Raul Jimenez in this game. I think he will definitely be a big miss. The fact that Ruben Neves is out as well, he's been a key figure for Wolves. And, even though they've played some really, really good football this season, I think they're going to come up short here. Villa about 10 points behind Wolves, and I think they could close the gap if they continue picking up wins and Wolves continue dropping points. So let's look for Steven Gerrard and his boys to get back to winning ways and inflict another loss on Wolverhampton Wanderers and prevent Wolves from doing the double over them this season. So Villa do have the firepower. Ings, Ollie Watkins, Coutinho, Buendia, John McGinn, Leon Bailey. You talk about not Adama, but Bertrand Traore. You think about Jacob Ramsey. A lot of firepower, man. A lot of firepower. Luca Digne. You know what I'm saying? Matt Cash. I don't see them losing this game. I really don't see them losing this game. The hinges would have to fall off for them to lose. Emi Martinez in goal. Look, there would have to be some dumb defensive errors by Tyrone Mings, and if it's Callum Wilson or Courtney Howes or Ezri Konza, whoever starts. But I could see them winning the game 2-1. Let's see. Don't let me down, Villa. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I make some solid predictions, but the teams go out there and play some real crappy football. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Villa. Let me know your predictions in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. So for 8th place Wolves, the next game will be coming up against Newcastle next Friday, while they face Manchester City. Well, the City game is postponed. They do have a match between them and Burnley coming up before they face Brighton
and then Chelsea. So I think they got some good fixtures coming up indeed. So for ninth place, Villa, after the game against Wolves, they will face Tottenham, Liverpool. Well, no, the Liverpool game is postponed, but they will face Leicester and Norwich. So, yeah, some good games coming up for them. They have a nice patch there where they do play Norwich, Burnley, and Crystal Palace. Those games could be very difficult if those teams are still fighting for survival. So, all the best to both teams. Wolves versus Aston Villa. So, big up to everybody in the chat. Once again, I refer to the chat. Big up to Ibrahim Sendi. Good morning, all members from South Africa. Big up to you, man, with love. Without Jimenez, Aston Villa 1-0 win. Big up to you, man. Villa, I feel, is stronger, even though teams are similar record-wise. Wolves' attack is better, but Villa 2-0. Big up to, however you say your name here, man. How are you doing? My country and club, Canada and Arsenal, both doing youth rebuilds. Exciting times ahead, hopefully. Big up to the boy, Ivan LFC. Yeah, another Ivan. Omari Stewart. Liverpool will draw tomorrow. City will win 3-0. Ah, man. Coming in with the salt. So, yeah, that's what it is. Let's keep it moving, man. Look, let's talk one of these bigger fixtures, man. Let's talk one of these games. Burnley versus Manchester City. Let's talk about this one. Burnley versus City. It's now 10:48 local time. My wife to get off of work at 11, but sometimes she, do work a bit late. Let's hope today she works half hour later so we could get all these matches in before the night ends. So let's not delay any longer and let's get to the title race. Burnley versus City, where Manchester City look to keep the lead ahead of Liverpool by 1 or maybe 4 points. Maybe go up 4 points ahead of Liverpool. Or 3. Come on, City. Let's see what happens this weekend. So, Burnley versus City. Burnley 0, Brentford 2 in their last game. Manchester City 4, Southampton 1 in the FA Cup quarterfinal. But in their last Premier League game, it was a 0-0 draw between Manchester City and Crystal Palace. And I know the Liverpool fans love that result. They absolutely loved it. But we are coming up against Burnley here, where in their last 10 meetings, Burnley have not won a single game, but they do have a 1-1 draw that they picked up at Turf Moor in February of 2018. So they will be looking to get a similar result. But earlier this season, City beat Burnley 2-0, and Burnley have not scored against City in their last 5 meetings in all competitions, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. If you don't believe me, look at it right there, man. 2-0, 2-0, 5-0, 5-0, 4-1. So there is a Carabao Cup game in there as well. But in the Premier League, last 4 meetings, no goals for Burnley, and last 5, all wins. The form guide, Burnley coming into this game on the bounce of 3 losses. For City, 1 loss, a draw, and 3 wins in their last 5. So City, the more informed team, the more quality team coming into this one. But when you're coming off of an international break, it could indeed be a very, very, very tricky affair. So, look, if we go up and we see the record here for these teams, 15 Premier League meetings, 1 win for Burnley, 3 draws, and 11 wins for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola versus Sean Dyche for the 15th time. Sean Dyche has never beaten Pep Guardiola. Sean Dyche has never beaten Pep in 14 tries, losing 13 and drawing 1. Against Manchester City, he do have 1 win that came before Pep, 2 draws, and 13 losses. Pep, almost immaculate record against Burnley, 13 wins and a draw. This one's looking like it's going to go in favor of Manchester City, right? So, look, players to watch for Burnley, I'm going to go for Maxwell Cornet, who has a record against Manchester City in his Lyon days. So he's going to look to continue that against Manchester City here.
And for City, I'm going to go for their top scorer this season, Riyad Mahrez, who's definitely hurt after failing to qualify for the World Cup with Algeria. So look for Mahrez razzling and dazzling against Burnley here, alongside the likes of Phil Foden and Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, and co. In terms of the player availability here, let's click the squads and let's talk. For Burnley, Johan Berg Goodmanson remains out. Nathan Collins is suspended. Ben Mee and Eric Peters are out, and Matej Vydra remains doubtful. For Manchester City, Ruben Diaz is out. He's going to be fit pretty soon. Cole Palmer is out. Benjamin Mendy not available, of course. And everyone else should be available. Edison, with a bout of illness, did not feature for Brazil. Should come back into contention. But if he's not ready, Zach Steffen will take the gloves. So City looking very strong going into that game. John Stones did suffer a setback on international duty, but he should be all right as well. So it brings us to the insights. Insights. Am I insightful enough for you guys? Insights. Mahrez faces his favorite club, Burnley. Oh man, I'm on point again. Manchester City's Riyad Mahrez has scored more Premier League goals against Burnley than he has versus any other side in the competition with 8. However, just one of those goals has come at Turf Moor. Manchester City have won their last 9 meetings with Burnley in all competitions by an aggregate score of 32-1. The Citizens have had 6 runs of 10-plus consecutive victories against an opponent. This, with the most recent match in 5 of those coming during Pep Guardiola's time in charge. Okay. City's goalless draw against Crystal Palace last time out was the 4th time this season they've failed to score in the Premier League. The Citizens last failed to score in more league matches within a single campaign back in 2016-17-5. And that was Pep's first season, right? Burnley have lost their last 3 Premier League matches by an aggregate of 8-0, despite being level at halftime in all 3. They last lost 4 consecutive league matches without scoring a single goal back in May of 2015. Craig Parson will be in charge of this game. Look, this could be a potential banana peel for City. All right? Let me just put that out there. But the record says that Manchester City will go on to beat Burnley by keeping a clean sheet. Burnley does not like to play against Manchester City. They don't. They really, really don't. I think both teams are from the same region in England as well. I'm not good with the geography in England, but I think Burnley and Manchester are close to each other. But yeah, I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But somebody help me out there. But Burnley will lose this game. A goal. Well, no goals. Well, City would win the game 3-0. Why am I being hesitant? Is this a sign that we're going to draw points in this one? Hell no. I think we're going to beat Burnley. I think Pep's going to go out there and put out best 11 possible, I hope. And we're going to beat Burnley off Turf Moor. We're going to control Turf Moor going forward. We're going to control the Turf Moor. It will no longer belong to Burnley after the game ends. Okay? Even though it might be windy. What's the weather like in Burnley tomorrow? Let me just do a quick search. Weather in Burnley. Most likely, it's going to be windy and rainy. Let me see. Weather in Burnley, England. The weather is 35 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And tomorrow, it's going to be rainy with a little bit of snow. It ain't looking good. The weather ain't going to be nice. Rainy and windy and wet and nasty. But I think City is going to actually have enough in them to beat Burnley. You know we play in any weather, man. You know what I mean? I see City playing the snow the other day. Like if they were, you know what I mean, they were playing in the hottest sunshine, you know, most ideal football weather, you know, in the snow. I was like, God damn, this is unbelievable. So, look, Manchester City 3, Burnley 0.
I expect to see the likes of Kevin De Bruyne out there doing his thing. Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling, you know what I mean? Mahrez, Jack Grealish, John Stones, Laporte, or if Stones is not fit enough, Ake. Let's go out there. Let's get this win. Let's keep a hold on that Premier League lead, number one, even if it's 1 point ahead of Liverpool. We had a 1 point lead a couple seasons ago, and we won the title. Doesn't matter. A win is a win. A title win is a title win, whether it's by 1 point or whether it's by 19. So I'm gonna go for us to hold on to the lead in the league, though. So, and I think most of you guys would actually agree with that. So for Burnley, after the game against Manchester City, they will play Everton. Burnley are currently in the relegation zone, and they will remain there, whether they win, lose, or draw. But they have an encounter against Everton, one against Norwich, against West Ham, Southampton, Wolves, Watford, Villa. They have some really good games coming up. Burnley, if they are to survive, would have to do well in that final stretch of games they got coming up. As for Manchester City, in terms of the title race and keeping a hold on that top spot, Atletico Madrid in the Champions League could serve as a distraction, but the game to watch, the game that's coming up Sunday, April the 10th, 11:30 a.m. against Liverpool at the Etihad Stadium. That is the biggest game this season, and I think the title could hinge on the result of that game. I'm hoping we beat Liverpool and send them back to Anfield with their tails between their legs, or with no tails at all. That's what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping for. So big up to everybody in the stream right about now, man. Thank you very much for dropping your comments. Appreciate it. Come on, no goals for Burnley tomorrow, unfortunately. Dom, can City do it in the cold night at Burnley? Yes. Man City have to win this game 3-0. King Huddle, City have too much possession not to win. Yeah, City's going to control. Maybe 85% possession in that game. I don't think Burnley's style of play could actually hurt us, because unless you take Weghorst out the 11 and, you know, play somebody fast, they would have to definitely play Aaron Lennon. Cornet would have to play Dwight McNeil. I don't know if playing Weghorst is a good tactic coming into this match, because he's going to be quite isolated. So, yeah, man. Yeah. We're going to keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. And let us talk about the next game here. We have a few matches left, and we're gonna get them in. We got Liverpool, Watford to talk about. We got Chelsea, Brentford. We do have Man United versus Leicester to touch on as well. So we're almost done. Man. Let us talk Liverpool, Watford. And guys, please stick around for the remaining matches. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's not talk Liverpool, Watford yet. Let's talk Chelsea versus Brentford. Because if I talk about Liverpool, the Liverpool fans will disappear. And I don't want you guys to leave just yet. So, Chelsea versus Brentford here. I'm going for City to win the game, of course, guys. It's 11 o'clock. We got 3 more games to talk about. And let's land the plane. I was going to put an expletive in there, but I changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? Guys, if you haven't yet liked the video, make sure you do so. I will definitely appreciate it. Smash it up, guys. We do have 37 likes. Let's get the stream up to 50 thumbs up. We could make it happen, man. We could make it happen. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks for the clicks. Thanks for the feedback. But we are talking Chelsea versus Brentford here. So, in terms of their last games, for Chelsea, they are on a good run. They beat Lille 2-1. In the Premier League, they beat Newcastle 1-0. And in the FA Cup, they beat Middlesbrough 2-0. As for Brentford, they're coming off of a 2-1 loss against Leicester City here. What happened the last time Chelsea and Brentford met? Chelsea won that. Well, they actually met twice this season. London derbies, one in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup, 2-0 to Chelsea, and 1-0 in the league
against Brentford earlier this season. So Chelsea, in the only game against Brentford in the Premier League era, they have won that game. So definitely Chelsea coming in with the advantage, even with the win in the cup game. So congrats. Thomas Frank versus Thomas Tuchel for the third time. Two Thomases, and Frank remains winless, while Tuchel has an immaculate record against both Brentford and Thomas Frank. So, as I mentioned, one Premier League match, one win for Chelsea. We take a look at their form as well. Coming into the game, Chelsea, all wins. Brentford, 3 losses and 2 wins there. 2 big wins to actually get them away from the relegation drop zone. So, season so far, Chelsea 3rd, Brentford 15th. They have won 17th, while Brentford picked up 8 wins so far in the maiden Premier League campaign, which is quite impressive to say the least. So give it up to the Bees, man. Are they going to be buzzing in this game against the Blues, who are actually going through some off-the-field things? The sale of the club, Roman Abramovich, we won't be touching on that today. But Chelsea, I have to say, have managed their off-the-field issues like bosses, okay? Note again, won't be touching on the off-the-field issues. It does not really concern me much. I could care less. You know, I hope Chelsea do come an oil club. I don't even know what's going on in terms of the sale of the club right about now. But in terms of player availability here for both Chelsea and Brentford, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I think, is going to be out. Pulisic is doubtful, and Bell Chilwell out for the rest of the season. For Brentford, Josh De Silva again has relapsed in terms of his injury. He's out. Jean Janvier remains out. He's been out for most of the season. In terms of insights here, what's the latest and the greatest between Chelsea and Brentford? Havertz target his best Premier League scoring streak. Did you know Kai Havertz has scored 4 goals in his last 3 Premier League matches for Chelsea, as many as he had in his previous 21. The German is looking to score 4 in consecutive league appearances for the first time since a run of 5 between April and August of 2019 with Bayer Leverkusen. Chelsea have won 6 of their last 7 Premier League London derbies this season, with the exception of 3 to defeat to West Ham United. That loss accounts for all goals conceded in London derby matches for the Blues this season. Pretty impressive if you ask me. Brentford are aiming for their first win in 9 matches against Chelsea in all competition, 7 losses and 1 draw, last beating them in 1939. No side have scored more goals from outside the box in the Premier League this season than Chelsea, with 8, while Brentford have conceded more such goals than any other team, 10. Look, I actually forgot to mention my players to watch here. For Chelsea, I'm going to go for Romelu Lukaku. He did start the last game against Middlesbrough. Is he actually going to get a start here after the international break? Or is he going to remain in the doghouse here for Chelsea? For Brentford, the key to them getting something here, Christian Eriksen and him linking up with Ivan Toney. They have done it once already this season. And if they continue this partnership, there could be a devastating duo for opposition teams. Look, it gets to the point where I make my excuse me with that sneeze there. It's springtime, and I do have allergies. Sorry there, Liam. Sorry there. I'm sorry, bro. Relax, okay? You've done a great job. So yeah, it's not nice when someone sneezes in your ears, not your nose. Sneeze in your ears, right? So, in terms of my prediction here, guys, I could see Brentford scoring a goal in this game. I could see them getting a goal. But are they going to win this London derby? I don't think so. I think Chelsea are going to scrap themselves to another win. 2-1 this time. I think the quality is going to prevail over Brentford. They're going to create opportunities. But I think, with the likes of Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Mendy behind them,
they're going to be a little bit too much. The likes of N'Golo Kante in the midfield, Kovacic if he starts, Jorginho. You know what I mean? These guys are going to be a little bit too much. Havertz in form. Let's see if Lukaku gets a run out. Ziyech is in good form as well. I think Chelsea's going to be a bit too much for Brentford on the day. I think Reece James is available again. You know, so give it up to Chelsea, man. Even though they're 10 points behind Liverpool and 11 behind City, they have held down the third spot very well. They've won the Club World Cup this season. They've won, what else they won? The Super Cup, you know, so they've done okay. They're the reigning European champions. They've put some respect on them. Even though they're going through some things, yeah, they'll have to suffer for third. They'll be, you know, they will be hoping they hold on to the third spot as well. But look, I think even though Brentford have shown some promise this season, they won't have enough in the tank to get the better of Chelsea. Doesn't matter how well Christian Eriksen and Ivan Toney plays on the day. They would need a lot going for them on the day to beat Chelsea. So I'm going for Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. What is your prediction? Please let me know in the chat. We're going to keep it short. We're going to keep it sweet. We're going to keep it moving. And in terms of Chelsea, they do have a meeting against Real Madrid on Wednesday in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge before they face Southampton in the league, then Real Madrid again, then Leeds United. As for Brentford right now are 15th on 30 points. It will be big if they do manage to scrape a point. Even a win in this game, it will take them ever so closer to safety. But I don't think they're going to get anything. They do have another couple London derbies coming up against West Ham, Watford, and Tottenham Hotspur. So that's what's in store for Brentford. Guys, let me know your prediction in the chat. Do appreciate it, man. You guys are the real deal. Okay? Thank you, Juppy. Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you, Summer at the Longhouse. Everybody in here, man. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate all the thank yous. Dom, you a troll. Smash the good like, people. Yeah, definitely smash up the thumbs up button, people. We have done pretty well tonight, you know what I mean? Even though it's a slow night, I think we have done well enough. We need 13 more thumbs up to hit 50. It would be great if we hit 50. I know we're going to hit 50 tonight, but it's all good. It is all good. Let's keep it moving. We got 2 more games to talk about. And we do have a midweek game, it seems, on Wednesday between Burnley and Everton. That's a 6-pointer. And let's see who gets the better, you know, scoreline in that game. Everton should fancy their chances, but Burnley at home will be tricky, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about that game. We are going to keep it moving. So Manchester United versus Leicester, left to talk about, and Liverpool versus Watford. So let's touch on Man United versus Leicester before we wrap it up with Liverpool versus Watford. It's 11:09 p.m. Let me see. Okay, my wife haven't, you know, she hasn't hit me up yet, so that's good. Melanie? Where you? On the ground? Why don't you go on the mattress, Mel? I know you're on the pillow, but you could plug in your phone over there. Okay, yeah, go on there. Just in case you fall asleep, you're on there, you know what I mean? Relax. You know, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry I had to do this live stream, you know, while, you know, but you're still here, you know what I'm saying? You're still here. Are you going to make Premier League predictions for next season? Yeah, right. You and Cassidy, we didn't do it last year, but we're going to do it this year. All right? You guys are pretty good for the previous 2 years, okay? So, guys, you could retroactively watch those videos of me and my kids doing Premier League predictions. But let us talk Manchester United versus Leicester. Guys, I'm on daddy duty. All the time, man. All the time. I got 3 kids, by the way, if you don't know. But I'm on daddy duties all the time. Right now, too. So, Manchester United versus Leicester City. Okay, so let me locate that in my my notes here. Okay, so United 3, Tottenham 2 in their last game. And in the Champions League, they got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. To the delight of the City and the Liverpool fans, of course. Okay, we loving that one. Absolutely loving it. Okay, so for Leicester City, they're coming off of a win, a 2-1 win against Brentford, and they have been doing well in the Europa League as well. So give it up to Leicester. What happened the last time Man United and Leicester City met each other? Well, guys, Leicester City defeated Man United 4-2 earlier this season. Leicester are actually coming off of a 3-match winning streak against Man United, which is absolutely brilliant. 4 games unbeaten against the Red Devils, which is absolutely brilliant. But the question is, can they do it? Can they do it? Why am I saying if? Can they do it without Jamie Vardy? That is a big question here. Could they do it without Jamie Vardy? Big question I'm asking you guys, so please answer me in the chat. But before that run of 3 wins and a draw, United won 4 on the trot, and United do have the better record against Leicester overall. 31 matches. Leicester only got 4 wins. 4 wins, 8 draws. United with 19 wins. You look at the recent meetings there. 4-1 to Leicester, 2-1 to Leicester, 2-2, 2-0 to United, 1-0 to United. So Leicester do have a good record coming into this game against the Red Devils. Foxes versus the Red Devils, right? So both coming off of wins and a loss, but Leicester do have a solid record. Well, pretty much the same record. Similar record coming into this match. But United with more firepower than Leicester, who are lacking the guile of Jamie Vardy. That is very, very important to note, guys. Ralph Rangnick versus Brendan Rodgers here. And this meeting happened before. 2 matches before against Brendan Rodgers, where he lost 1 and won 1. And we could see his first meeting against Leicester, but Rodgers against Man United for the 17th time. He has 10 losses, 5 wins, and a draw. And against Rangnick, a win and a loss. So in terms of players to watch for this one, guys, I'm going to go for Cristiano Ronaldo, coming off of helping Portugal get into the World Cup, and also coming off of a hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. So if United ought to get something from this game, Ronaldo, he got to be in, continuing his good form, and Bruno Fernandes and co got to actually be that supporting cast for Ronaldo. For Leicester, they need James Maddison firing. Maddison, Tielemans, Daka, and co. But James Maddison is that talismanic figure for United who could hit one from distance, from a dead ball, or even, a through ball from Tielemans and smash it in the V. Postage stamp. That's what needs to happen if they ought to continue their good form against United. So in terms of player availability here, let's just get to that. And for United, Edinson Cavani is out along with Mason Greenwood. So squad is pretty fit. A lot of players available. And for Leicester, they're a little bit more hampered with Jamie Vardy out. Wilfred Ndidi, a key figure in those good results as well, out for the rest of the season. Maybe, he would have helped Nigeria qualify, but he was absent. Danny Ward, the backup goalkeeper, out. Luke Thomas, doubtful, but a key figure in Wesley Fofana is back in contention. So I think Johnny Evans might be available again, so that's a good thing. Chagla Soyanchu, his form has, returned somewhat. And James Justin is also back fit. Daniel Amate qualified for the World Cup with Ghana. So, a lot of players available. Ricardo Pereira, Yannick Vestergaard, Castagna is back. So Leicester, they can't say, hey, man, all of us key players are out. No. Only Jamie Vardy, really, and Ndidi. But these guys are big, So let's see if they could replace them adequately here. So that's what's up in terms of player availability.
latest and the greatest.
in terms of insights.
My voice is getting a little bit raspy again.
Let me drink some water. Definitely drink some water there, all right? So we're doing well in terms of time. My wife ain't hit me up yet to pick her up from work, so that's a good thing. Will Leicester twice make history by beating United? Did you know Cristiano Ronaldo have scored 12 Premier League goals this season? In the competition's history, only Gianfranco Zola has scored more in a single campaign while age 36 or over, with 14 in the 2002-03. That was pretty much for Chelsea, right? Man United have scored a league-high 10 goals via substitutes this season, with Marcus Rashford netting 4 of these goals. Meanwhile, no side have conceded more goals to substitutes this season than Leicester, with 7. Leicester City won this fixture 2-1 last season and now have a chance to win consecutive away league matches against Man United for the first time. Having beat Man United 4-2 in the reverse fixture, Leicester are also looking to complete their first Premier League double over the Red Devils. Andre Mariner will be in charge for this game. Guys, in terms of my prediction, I'm going to start right off the bat by saying it is not happening. That league double is not happening. Okay? Ralph Rangnick, he has come in and, even though United still got their demons, Red Devils, demons, they do not look as bad as they did look under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You see what I mean? We scroll down here, we see their form guide, a win, a loss, a draw, a win, a win. You know what I mean? They haven't really lost a lot of games under Rangnick. They did lose to Atletico Madrid. But for Leicester, this has not been their best season in the last 3 seasons. And even though they did lose the first match against Leicester, even though they did win the first game against United, I don't see them following that up at all. As I mentioned, Ndidi and Jamie Vardy, key figures in these good run against United. Look, don't get me wrong. As a City fan, I would love if Leicester smashed the hell out of United, but I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it honest here. I think in terms of form and merit coming into this game, I think United do have the edge here, man. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. United played City. They lost. They drew to Watford, which is a weird result. But for Leicester, it has been a bit so-so this season. A bit of hit and miss. I would love if they get a result. They managed to beat United at Old Trafford last season. Could they do it again? I don't think so. I think Ronaldo and co are going to rally and pick up a 2-1 victory here for United over Leicester. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Just to pour as much salt on this as possible. I'm hoping I'm wrong, though. But I'm gonna try to be as, fair as possible and say United win the game. There's been many times I predicted them to win games and they lost or draw the games. But I could see Rangnick getting the better of Brendan Rodgers here. Rodgers complained that his team is a bit stale. People are figuring him out a bit too easy. And a few players need to move on, and he needs to actually recruit a few new players as well. Leicester remain a very attractive club. They're doing well in the Europa League. Well, Conference League, I should say. And they would look to actually, continue their upward surge that they have, picked up a bit of steam lately. But I'm going for them to lose the game, though. 2-1 United. Let me know your prediction in the chat. As for 6th place United, their next game will not be a Champions League game, but they will play Everton. Then they face Norwich, Liverpool coming up in April 19th. Well, Liverpool got some big games, man. City on the 10th, City again on the 15th, and Man United on the 19th. God damn. Are Liverpool going to go unscathed in all 3 of those games? I highly doubt it. But you never know. You never ever know. Leicester 10th, 36 points. Their games coming up would be against PSV in the Europa Conference League, then Crystal Palace, PSV again, then Newcastle. Guys, appreciate you guys dropping your thoughts here. Big up to you, Ryan LFC. All the best in the game tomorrow. No Vardy, no party. So, hey, Dominic, big up to Kelvin Drayton. Who you bringing for the FIFA World Cup? We're not talking World Cup right now. You got to go watch the World Cup video, bro. We're not talking World Cup right now. I'm strapped for time right now, okay? Can't go into the World Cup talk right about now. But thank you very much for coming through. I do appreciate it, guys. Smash up the thumbs up button. Could we get the live stream to 50 likes? Could we do it? We need 11 more. I know there's a lot of you guys in here who have yet to like the video. Come on, you could do better than that. You can do better than that. You ought to be ashamed of your goddamn selves. Guys, once again, I'd like to say thank you very much for 50,000 subscribers, man. Big up to the boy Demo Dre. Big up to Ryan LFC. You know, I would like to have you guys on in the future, but you know, I've been busy, man. I want to talk to you guys about Liverpool, Man City. You guys are very biased, though. You guys are too biased. You know what, man? I changed my mind. You guys are way too biased. Which brings us to the last game today. Liverpool versus Watford. The Reds versus the Hornets, okay? 15 previous Premier League meetings, 3 wins for Watford, 1 draw, 11 wins for Liverpool. Okay, so in terms of the matches coming into the game, guys, I gotta scroll back here. Liverpool a 1-0 win over Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup. In the Premier League, Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. As for Watford, Roy Hodgson and Watford, they're coming off of a 2-1 win against Southampton. So they will look to continue that winning form. It's going to be very, very hard, but they have managed to beat Liverpool before, and they will be looking to draw some inspiration from said win. Okay, it's a long shot, but there's a possibility. Where there's a will, there is a way. Last meeting between these two teams, Liverpool 5 earlier this season, Watford 0. But the previous game was a 3-0 win for Watford over Liverpool. Watford do got a 3-3 draw back in 2017 as well against the Reds. But all the other games are wins for Liverpool. And I mean wins. Big wins. 6-1, 5-0. A couple times there's been 3 5-0 wins for Liverpool against Watford in their last 6 games. Very, very one-sided affair here. But you never know, man. You never know. Klopp coming up against Roy Hodgson here for the 8th time. 7 wins, no losses, no draws for Jurgen Klopp. And Roy Hodgson, one of his toughest adversaries. Liverpool and Klopp. 17 games against Liverpool, 10 losses, 4 draws and 3 wins. And Klopp against not a Crystal Palace, but Watford. 11 games, 8 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. Look, in terms of players to watch here for both teams, for Liverpool, I'm going to go for Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah. And the reason why I picked those players, these guys failed to qualify for the World Cup in the last international break. And they're going to be like wounded animals. They're going to be out for blood, okay? So keep an eye on those players who won't be at the World Cup come November, December, but they will look to give their all for Liverpool. For Watford, Ismail Assar and, of course, Emmanuel Dennis. Sarr qualified for the World Cup with Senegal, but Dennis failed with Nigeria. And these players are the 2 most, let's say, dangerous players in Watford's ranks in terms of the final third. So if Watford ought to get something, they would need these guys firing on all cylinders. Look, in terms of player availability here for Liverpool and Watford. For Liverpool, all players are definitely available with the exception of Naby Keita, James Milner, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who are not fully fit, guys. These guys are doubtful, but could feature. You know what I'm saying? But there's a question mark over the availability of these players. Only those three. So Liverpool, they got a strong team coming up to face Watford here. For Watford, a fully fit team ready to take points off Liverpool. And I mean, Nicholas Nkulu is back. Jeremy Ngakia is back. You have the likes of Troost Ekong and Adam Messina coming back from World Cup qualifying duties. You know what I mean? So, look, they ain't got no excuses not to beat Liverpool. Imran Loser, Peter Etebo, all these guys coming off of international duty. They ain't got no excuse. Eddie Kayembe, all these guys coming off of World Cup qualifying duties. They ain't got no excuse. But it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough coming up against Liverpool here, man. It is going to be very, very hard to beat them. I'm telling you this. Look, latest and the greatest in terms of Liverpool and Watford. Can Salah extend deadly record and take Liverpool on top? Did you know, if Liverpool win or draw, they will go above Manchester City ahead of the leaders' trip to Burnley later in that day. Liverpool's Mo Salah has been directly involved in 11 goals in just 7 Premier League matches against Watford, scoring 9 and assisting 2. The Egyptian averages a goal, an assist every 57 minutes versus the Hornets, the fourth best ratio one player has against a club in the history of the competition, minimum 600 minutes against that opponent. Watford have won just 8 points from their 6th Premier League away contests under Roy Hodgson, winning 2 and drawing 2, losing 2. Not a bad record, as many as they had in their previous 17 on the road. That's a great record. That is a great record. Winning 2, drawing 2, and losing 13. That is a great record. Liverpool, beware of Roy Hodgson and Watford. The Hornets won 2-1 at Southampton last time out, but haven't won consecutive away top-flight matches since a run of 3 in September of 2017. Watford's Chuko Hernandez has been directly involved in 4 goals in his last 3 Premier League appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist. More than he managed in his first 19 matches in the competition, 2 goals and 1 assist. Look, with the likes of Chuko Hernandez, you have João Pedro, Emmanuel Dennis, you have Ismail Assar. Look, man, Watford do have the firepower. Josh King, Ken Sema, all these guys. Could they band together their forces and actually knock Liverpool off their perch? It is going to be tough. Let's get to the prediction here and let's land the plane on today's live stream. We'll be live for 1 hour 56 minutes, and I think I've done a great job. I couldn't have done this in less time, even if I tried. Guys, this is going to be a one-sided game. Watford, they have absolutely no chance in front of the Anfield faithfuls to beat Liverpool. As much as I would love them to get something from this game, it ain't happening. Liverpool got too much firepower up top with Jota, Firmino, Luis Diaz, Salah, Mane, maybe Harvey Elliott to come in, Oxlade. The team is too stacked up for Watford. Fabinho. Maybe if Watford catch Liverpool with in an injury crisis or something, but not now. Not right now. Not with Van Dijk and Matip playing well at the back. Alisson playing well in goal. Not now. Not now at all. I think they'll get a goal. Liverpool do give you a chance. And with the pace of Dennis and Sarr, I think they'll get him behind. Chuko Hernandez look good in front of goal. I think they'll get him behind and get a goal. But maybe after Liverpool score 3. But as a City fan, I'm hoping Watford win this game, though. But I'm going to go for Liverpool to win the game 3-1. Or they might just win it 3-0. But I don't think Watford's getting anything out of this. As much as I want it to happen, I don't think they're getting anything out of this game at all. So Watford's next game is against Leeds. Then they do face Brentford. They're currently in the relegation zone in 18th. And even with a win, they would remain just there. Look, if they win and Everton lose, they could get out. But I don't think they're winning the game. I don't think they're getting a point from the game. And I think it's going to be a very, very rough ride to the end of the season where they look doomed to go back in the championship. Liverpool should go top of the table after this win and put pressure on Manchester City, who do play Burnley the match right after. So at the end of the day, I think City would remain on top. I might actually do a little roundup between where 1 and 2 p.m. later on in the day. Like maybe in the car, do a little roundup of the games that were already played on a Saturday, like I used to do in the past. I haven't done a video in the car for a while, but I'm gonna bring it back, man. I'm gonna bring it back tomorrow, to give you guys some fresh content for your head tops. Guys, look, thanks for coming through once again. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the turnout in here, man. You guys are the real deal. But it's 11:30. I'm gonna give the voice a bit of rest. I'm gonna go pick up the wife from work. And I'm going to get some rest myself to get to work in the morning. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys again. It's been a pleasure chatting. And it was a very long day of doing World Cup qualifiers, doing World Cup draw and everything. And, it's just, putting in those hard miles, man. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, like the video if you haven't yet done so. I will definitely appreciate that. We need 4 more thumbs up to get to 50. And, it was a nice little stream just to keep the consistency going in terms of just the Premier League. You know what I mean? I've previewed and reviewed every single Premier League match week this season. And I don't intend on skipping any rain, sun, or shine. All right? So, from your boy Dominic Rich, Liam Rich, Melanie Rich in the house. Thank you very much. And until next time, guys, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace. You up? You up, baby? You up? Oh. All right, guys. Peace, man. Much love, much respect. Okay, we'll talk tomorrow. Peace.